Hello dear student, welcome again to this class of business studies. In our previous classes, we have at length discussed about marketing and various marketing mixes. In this class also we shall continue about the place mix of marketing, rather the distribution mix of marketing. After a goods or a product is manufactured by a producer, the product has to be priced and then it has to be taken to the marketplace where customer can buy it. This calls that the goods has to move through some passage. There has to be a channel through which the good must pass. Not only that, it must ensure that the goods are made available to the existing customers or prospective customer in a market at the right time and in right quantity. That has to be assured, because if in a market demand is more than supply, there are various issues that may take place. Similarly, if there is shortage, the chances some of the customer may switch over to another product, and therefore a company has to decide various issues before it finally chooses the distribution mix or the channel of distribution. Now, channel of distributions refers to all those activities which are undertaken and which affect the transfer of ownership from the producer to the ultimate customer. Usually we refers to as physical distribution. Now, physical points out that goods are not moved through automatically or automated means. They have to be moved physically. There should be involvement of organization, involvement of people, involvement of machine and tools for carrying, transport for carrying the goods from one place to another place, and therefore a variety of factors affect the choice of distribution channel. Generally, the choice of channel may be, or the types of channel may be, either zero intermediaries channel, or where there is no intermediaries, zero level channel, or channel may be there can be level 1, level 2 or level 3. So zero level channel are also termed as direct channel. The company market and sells its product directly. We have to take into account what are the conditions when such direct channels can be preferred. Similarly, we have to also consider what are the circumstances when we can go for indirect channel. We therefore define distributions as activities which are concerned with, I've written there, affecting the transfer of ownership from the producer to the ultimate customer. And then this transfer has to be taken at a right time and right place. We have to decide where the customer resides, which marketplace is there, where the goods have a demand. A variety of issues goes on or included in deciding or in choice of a particular channel of distribution. So the factors which affect the various choice of a channel can be categorized over here. 5 factors. Positive space, market factors is being not written over there, but we will discuss that. So first, product related factors. How product related factor affect the choice? The first one is unit value and turnover. We generally knows that when goods are produced on a bulk, the cost of production of per unit tends to be very lower. So in such a case, when the unit cost of a goods is lower, we can prefer indirect channel. Now indirect channel points that there can be involvement of intermediaries, agents, salesmen in between in the channel of distribution. But zero level mark or direct channel says that there is no intermediaries in the distribution channel. So here, when the unit cost is very low and turnover is very big, usually they can be sold through indirect channels, or channel can be longer. Coming to the next, that is product line. It happens that line means the varieties. So product line refers to a variety of product that is being manufactured by a marketer or by a producer, a businessman. If a business enterprises has a number of variety of product, it is usually referred or preferred that each product may be sold by a separate product representative or through separate intermediaries. They cannot be direct intermediaries. It would be very difficult, it would be very complex to handle all the product by itself by the company or directly by the company. So here, when a variety of product line is there, intermediaries are preferred and channel of distribution can be longer. But where there is very less number of product, then marketing can be done directly by the company, by its representative directly. There is no need of intermediaries or agents. The third factor is about product standardization. Generally we know that standard products command a goodwill, a price in a market. So if we are offering a standard product, a branded product, customers are well aware that this is a product which is made up of good quality of material. It provides a greater satisfaction to the customer in terms of use and utility. So there is no need of salesmen. They can be directly sold because they command a price in the market. But where the product are non-standardized, they are not famous, usually people do not know, people do not recognize them, do not attach importance to them. So people ordinarily would not go to buy them, and therefore a persuasive action has to be taken by inclusion of intermediaries who would just convert their desire into wants. It would raise a desire of buying a product. So in such case, in case of a standardized product, channel can be shortened. There can be direct sales. But in case of non-standardized product, salesmen or intermediaries are mandatory, or it is preferred. Then perishability of the product. Perishability point out to the lifespan or life cycle of a product. There are products which can be stored for a longer period of time, but there are usual products which have a very shorter duration of life. They have to be consumed within that time, and they would perish after that period. So perishability refers to the time span within which a product has to be consumed. If the goods are made of such that they have to be consumed within a short duration of time, so this short duration point out that production distribution channel cannot be longer, because it would make the goods unfit for consumption and it would not be unsuitable for consumption. Product line, this channel of distribution has to be shorter in case of perishable product. Then we have bulk and weight. Yes, the product which are very bulky and heavy, like industrial product, or they tend to be very complex. They are not mobile. They cannot be carried from one place to another. So it is referred that if the salesman is there, they cannot carry it. It would be very difficult for them to sew and carry. So for such product, direct channel or shorter channel is preferred, whereas in case of ordinary product, we can go for longer channel. But if it is very bulky and very large, or weight has a large weight mass, then such product has to adopt a shorter distribution channel. Then coming to the company related issues, the factors relating to company. Now company related factor says the volume of production first. Now this volume of production necessarily point out that the goods which are manufactured by a company, whether they are produced on a mass scale or on a very small scale. If we see in case of direct channels, we have seen that when a product is sold through direct channel, there can be retail outlet. Company opens a retail outlet. Their own retail outlets there, which they sell their product directly through those retail outlets. Or they maintain a direct sales force, their own sales force, who would represent the company product and their sales through it. Then we have learned about mail order business. You just order it through a mail, post a mail, and then the company would deliver. There is no intermediaries. Another direct selling is about internet or e-commerce, internet selling through the portals or various sites. So that are the advantages of a direct channel. No intermediaries are there, you can sell it directly. But as regarding company related issues, company related factors, what we find that when manufacturers, if it manufacture on a very large, a very big scale, what happens then if they sell the product directly to the customer, how it would affect their profit? And if they have a very smaller scale of production, how it would affect their profit? Let us take that if a small scale producer is there who produces in a small scale, generally he do not find himself in a position that he can directly open a retail outlet or have a sales force and can sell the goods directly. So therefore this volume of production assures whether a manufacturer would go for direct channel or indirect channel. In case of a bulk production, a company can afford to have a retail outlet, sell it directly. But where a company produce on a small scale, they have to take the services of middleman, salesman in the market or intermediaries in the market, so that their product could be sold. They operate on a small scale and they cannot bear the cost of investing on a direct outlet or retail outlets. Second consideration is about financial resources. Financial resources do affect a company which is having a very stronger financial position. They can afford to distribute their product through direct channel because they are financially strong. They can open a retail outlet, make an investment, they can own a sales force, they can maintain a website, sell through internet and various other means. But where the financial strength of a manufacturer is very poor or it is not good or weak, they cannot dare to take the risk of selling directly because they might find that their product is not accepted, and it is therefore suggested that they go for indirect channel or rather a longer distribution channel. Then the next one is about desire and degree of control. Generally, the manufacturer who wants to control the distribution of his product, he would not try to involve any intermediaries in between or engage some middlemen. They would directly sell their product. Whereas those who want to distribute their product freely without having control, then they can use a indirect channel, or the channel would be longer. So these are about company related factors, that how these factors relating to a company affect the choice of distribution channel. The desire to control, then the financial position of a company, and then the volume of production that take place. Then the next one is about competitive factors. Now this competitive factors points out that usually what happens in a market, there is a tendency, or what follows is that a seller tends to adopt such channel which is adopted by his competitor, because he wants to match the speed. He wants to have the economical advantage that his competitor is having, and therefore he may go for the same channel which his competitor is adopting. And therefore we say that competitive factors do affect the choice of a particular distribution channel. Usually we find that the pharmaceuticals company, the medicines, they go for each of the company. They maintain we have seen medical representative. They have an indirect channel who market their product to the doctors, to the shopkeepers, chemists. They elicit the bulk order from the chemist. So almost all the pharmaceutical company, they follow the same channel of distribution. So that is the rule of market business, that we have to be at par with the competitor, then we have to adopt the strategies which is being adopted by our competitors. So competition issues plays a market important factors. Then the environmental factors. We know that business operates in a dynamic environment. It happens that the fixation of the price, one of the issues in an environment which affects the choice of a channel. There are legal constraints which affects the choice of a channel. If there are constraints on price fixation, that our price cannot be more than that, or cannot be more than what the competitor is offering, then what type of channel we would be preferring? We know that channel of distribution adds to the cost of goods. If you want, that price has to fix at a minimum, then this should take into account the channel that is to be going to be adopted. If the channel is longer, indirect, it involves intermediaries, then the cost would increase. So therefore, choice of channels also depend upon various environmental factors like fixation of the price. Then about legal constraint is there. Now this legal constraint says that if a company sees that there are opportunities for development in a market, or there are opportunities that the product could be sold, company can, with the view of taking advantage of the opportunity which exists in the market, they can adopt a indirect channel. they can employ intermediaries, but where there is no opportunities or there are other legal constraints, a company would usually prefer to have a shorter channel or a direct channel of distribution. Then there are market factors which affects the distribution channel choice. The first market factor is about the nature of the goods, whether it is industrial goods or it is consumer goods. We know industrial goods are bought in very small quantities. They are heavy, they are bulky, and we have a very few customers for them. They are less in demand, and therefore it is usually preferred to have a direct channel of sales or distribution. Whereas if it is a consumer goods, we can have indirect channels. Another important market consideration is the number of customers in a market. If you find that there is a large number of customers or variety of customers in a market, then it necessarily places a force in favor of use of intermediaries or middlemen, because they would just help us in convincing the customer, in eliciting a repeated purchase of a large number of customers in a market. And therefore it is preferred that when the customers are large in number in a market, we can adopt for indirect channel, whereas when there is very few number of customer, we usually choose a direct channel of distribution. Then another market is about the size of order. If a customer buys in a small quantity, it can be sold directly. But where bulk buying is there, or rather we can say, if it a customer usually prefers a variety of goods in a small quantities, then for such varieties we can maintain as middleman, or there can be a sales force. But if the goods are brought in very we can say in big lots, then in such a case sales can be, or distribution can be through direct channel. There is no need of unnecessarily employing. So middlemen are employed when channel are distributed in small lots to the customer, whereas when it is in bulk, we can have a direct channel. Then buying habit of the customer in a market also affect the choice of a channel. Usually what happens in a market, we find that there are customers who have a frequent buying habit, despite the fact that they may not have a financial backup. They look for credit to buy or fulfill their needs. They go for repeated purchase. So in a market, if there are customers who is willing to spend, we have seen, as in case of cars, that people usually buy the car, they spend, they pay for greater values, and they feel that they should get personal attention when they buy a product. So with this desire, usually it happens, or it is preferred, that if customers are such that they prefer personal selling, then in such case the retailers or those middlemen and intermediaries they would help us in getting their willingness to buy through their personal attention, making credibility available to them. So this is all about the various factors which affects the choice of channel or distribution channel. Now let us see how, or what are the various functions which these channel of distribution performs, what advantages we derive, what functions this channel of distribution do. First of all, when they distribute the goods, we have seen that in a distribution channel there can be various intermediaries who can be involved in the distribution of the goods. Now, what function do they provide in the process of distribution? So what we find, when the goods are distributed through this middlemen, they function carry out the activities of sorting. Sorting means, we can say, from a variety of goods, middlemen usually, what happens, they get a variety of goods from various producers, and these middlemen then they sort out the different goods according to the size, according to demand, according to the quality, according to the nature, and before they sell the goods, those goods are differentiated on the basis of quality, on the basis of nature, on the basis of the size of the goods. So they provide the function of sorting of the goods depending upon the types of demand. They sort the goods. Then we have seen that they keep on accumulation of the goods, or piling of the goods, piling of stock, we say. We have seen that this middleman, they usually the function is there at right time and right place. They have to make sure that the goods are made available at the right time and right place of goods, and this steady supply calls that they needs to maintain a stock. They have to have a function of accumulation. Then the next function is about allocation. Allocation means the wholesaler, they distribute, or the middleman, they distribute the good as per the demand. They break the bulk in small quantities and supply it as and when demanded. Then there is assortation, or there is assorting. Assorting means the goods are matched for resale. When the goods are procured by this middleman, they usually try to match each of the goods to the demands of the customer. So assortation means according to the specification of the customers or requirement, the goods are assorted. They are resold according to the demands, according to the features which they look. So that is means distribution according to quality. And then they also function product promotion. They help the producer in promotion of the goods. How? By displaying about the product to the end users. They run various promotional contests. So in that way they help the producer. So these are some of the functions that they provide. Now let us discuss this in our next class. Till then, keep learning. A customer buy a product. Then the next feature is economical. Now, how it tends to be economical? Advertisement. Why? And in what way we say that advertisement is economical, or the mode of promotion is very economical? We can just compare that, when we say economical, we always evaluate it in terms of the benefit that we derive. Since advertisement has a mass reach, the total number of advertisement cost is spread over these large number of customers, and therefore it tends to be very economical. The entire cost is spread over a period, over a people, all over India, all over our country. It influenced not only one people, but various people throughout the country. So therefore, the cost gets distributed. As a result, per unit cost of reaching the prospective customer, it comes to be very less as compared to the other promotional techniques. If we compare the cost that is involved in other promotional technique and the benefit that we derive, advertisement is more persuasive. It has an economical impact. Then next one is support to media. Yes, we can say media means press and news agencies. Advertisement also proves as a source of income to this media. They generate a lot of revenues for the media. Advertisement which appears in any of the media, they generate a revenue. It becomes a source of revenue when advertisement is published in magazine or newspaper, or either it is telecasted over television. For different media, it creates a source of revenue. So we say it supports media. Now let us see about the demerits. The demerit is less persuasive, and we can say forceful over here. Less persuasive in the sense that since it is a non-personal form of communication, there is no direct contact between the advertiser and the customer. The impact of an advertisement between the customer and the marketer is very less. Happens what? The marketer assumes that this message is communicated, but actually what happens, the audience or the customer may pay attention or may not pay attention. Since it is a non-personal, therefore it only depends upon the discretion of the customer what to receive. If they pay attention, if they are itinerant listener, they would not pay attention. They would only receive what is good for them, otherwise they would not receive the whole. So therefore, the impact, the effect is very less since it is non-personal. Second is that there is absence of feedback. We do not know. Advertisement is only a one-way communication, that an identified sponsor simply realize that it would be communicated to the target audience, to the target customer. But what have been the impact of the advertisement? It is not known. There is no mechanism to know if the messages has reached, if the communication, if the information that was scheduled has reached to the target or not. So there is lack of feedback. Absence of feedback is there. Next one is, it is very rigid. Now rigidity is so inflexibility. Means once the advertisement contains a messages or the content, it cannot be changed according to the viewers, according to the perception of the viewers. It cannot be changed. It is a customized. So we say that there is inflexibility, there is rigidity, and this rigidity prevent that advertisement may not be having as much impact on the customer as any other means of personal forms of communications. And finally, we have low effectiveness. We have discussed that there is only one medium of means of communication. Only the seller sends, seller disseminates and communicates. Customer in today's world derives a total benefit or enhanced benefit only when they are assured of post-purchase services. whether a customer after making a purchase has felt the desired satisfaction or not, whether he has any doubt regarding the use of a product, how this doubt is to be clarified. It cannot be done. Advertisement cannot do that. There is lack of doubt, lot of doubts among the various customer, and therefore we say that advertisement has very low effectiveness. So this is about advertisement, its features, merits and demerits. We shall continue in our next class. Till then, keep learning.